breastfeeding for 1 year equates to around 1,800 hours of feeding. I mean, that is a full-time job for a year. So that is why your comfort is so important. Like the majority of mums have some challenge or the other along the way of their breastfeeding journey. So what I'm going to share with you today are some game-changing products that really can support a comfortable and positive experience. The first thing I would recommend is one of the simplest things, and that is pen and paper. Because after a while, when breastfeeding around the clock, day after day after day after day, and night and day and night and day, and on it goes, and it just becomes this blur. And you start to forget, like, when was the last time I fed the baby, and which breast did I feed from, and how long did they feed? There are apps available to help with tracking. I don't really think apps are necessary. All you actually really need is pen and paper. I created this template, which is available in the resources section on the Little Nutshells website, and you can download it for free. And this template really captures all the main stuff you would need. It's super simple, but it really is ideal, and it's everything you need to be recording for those first initial months when your baby is feeding around the clock every 2 to 3 hours. Another breastfeeding essential is nipple cream. This is a must, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, Chemist Essentials. Nipple cream is super important because it will help protect and heal your nipples. For a first-time breastfeeding mum, you can expect to lose a few layers of skin in those first few days, so I recommend this cream from day one. But do test it out beforehand on your skin to make sure you can tolerate the product. I had initially bought an organic one, and I had an allergic reaction, and really that's the last thing you need when you're in a hospital healing trying to breastfeed, is allergic reaction to a product. So do try it out. This one is Purelin Lanolin Cream from Medala, and a little bit goes a long way, just a little bit before and after a feed. If chafing, cracked nipples or infection does become an ongoing issue, I highly recommend investing in some Nipple Shields. I hear these are good ones. Just be careful though to get the right size. My next recommendation are feeding crop tops. You really want to have something very comfortable. You might want to get bras for the daytime also, but for nighttime, and actually just day and night most of the time, comfort is key. So these kind of crop tops without any kind of structure or wire are so comfortable. These ones are from Bonds, and I got 2 sizes because you will find your body changes over time. Immediately after birth and those first initial months, they're just like huge, and your body's also bigger from having the baby. Over time it will reduce, and the milk does start to kind of mellow out a little, so you'll want a slightly smaller size for that stage. My next recommendation is breast pads. So after 3 to 4 days of drinking colostrum, a mother's milk will come in, and you'll find it's actually quite sticky in its consistency. And it's so uncomfortable and yucky to wake up in bed drenched in sticky milk. So I really highly recommend getting breast pads. I use these ones from Lancino. These were really comfortable and really nice, but hunt around, see what works for you. I know there are some people that like to use reusable breast pads. So if you're going down the path of reusable, do get, I would say, at least 4 pairs, because the area does become quite warm and moist, and it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria. So for comfort and for hygiene, I highly recommend changing them a few times a day. Even overnight with these disposable ones, you can change them when you wake up for a feed, say around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and just you'll feel fresh also, and it's nice. My next recommendation is an absolute essential, and that is a good feeding pillow. If you're a first-time mum, I do feel this is really important while you build up the arm, neck and back strength and just get used to the whole technique of holding a baby, because they're really floppy for the first few months. The one I found was just the most recommended online and was an absolute godsend is the Boppy pillow. So it looks like this. It's super comfortable both for mother and child. Whether this would work for you would also depend on your body shape. So if this is not something that would work for you, I highly recommend just getting a pillow. You might even have one like this at home. This kind where it's a rectangle and this kind of firmness. You don't want it too hard, you don't want it too soft. And just think of it in terms of your own comfort. If you were laying on there for hours, what kind of firmness and texture would you most enjoy? And you can kind of apply that to the baby. When I was in the hospital, I did use one of the very hard ones that wrapped all the way around the body. And I saw those in the store the other day with this claim that they're the most popular and a leading pillow, and that might be true. And if this works for you, then this is just my opinion, so do what works for you if you love this pillow. But I just think it's got a major design flaw. Like, I just don't understand why there is this firm, hard bit around the mother's back, and you might be sitting for hours and hours and hours of your life with this pillow, and you want to make sure that your back is comfortable and you can lean back into your chair and be cozy and feel nice. And if you have this hard thing around your waist, I just don't understand how you can do that. So I think these are actually really terrible pillows and I wouldn't recommend them. But if you love it and you already have it and it's working for you, then do what works for you. I just feel that a slightly softer, more flexible pillow is the best. Another tip is to get 2 pillowcases, because just in case your baby posits or spits up onto the pillowcase, you have a fresh one handy. And also have some swaddles nearby. Again, for the same reason, what I ended up doing was when my baby was going through that stage of spitting up a bit, I would actually put the blanket over the pillow before feeding, just to catch any accidents that occur. Another essential is a good feeding chair. Now, I recommend feeding in a chair rather than in your bed, purely for your own comfort. But if you love feeding in bed, do what works for you. I just like to equate it to the feeling you get if you're sitting in your bed and you're on your laptop for like 2 hours. You end up with kind of a crampy back, crampy shoulders, and it's a little bit the same with feeding in bed. So to have a nice chair that provides you with good support is essential. What is not essential is getting a real full-on feeding chair. There's a lot of branded breastfeeding chairs, which again, if you love it and you have one already, that's amazing. What you want to look for instead is a chair with the right features. Something that has a high back, something that will support your neck and head, and something with high arms that you can lean your cushion on, lean your arm on, and also a nice seat that does feel cozy for your body shape. So in that sense, you really can broaden your search and look at any kind of nice looking chair. It doesn't have to be one of those super bulky feeding chairs. And you can also get a footstool separately, because over time you will want to put your feet up. I read something so incredible recently that one mum had calculated breastfeeding for 1 year equates to around 1,800 hours of feeding. Oh my gosh, can you believe that? I mean, that is a full-time job for a year. So that is why your comfort is so important. My next recommendation is breast pump and all the related accessories. Now, breast pumping is one of the least glamorous things you will ever do, but it is so useful, and there are so many reasons to get a breast pump and get a high quality breast pump. Breast pumping helps stimulate milk production, helps increase milk production. It helps relieve your breasts if they get very hard and like oversupply. And also it's really good for expressing breast milk and keeping it in the fridge or in the freezer. So the one I absolutely love and one of the best on the market is this breast pump from Spectra. It is really beautiful. It is fantastic and has a great strength and a great design. So it does take a bit of getting used to. With the bottle, do test it out at home beforehand. It will come with standard parts in the box, but you want to make sure you have the right size here just to prevent chafing. And if you want to store them in the fridge or freezer, you can also get these storage bags. I use the ones from Lancino, and I don't think there's any real like perfect bag. A bag is a bag, but there is a technique for getting the milk in there in the most sanitary way. And you just open up the bag, place it over the top like this, and quickly tip it and close it up. And that's it. You can write the date, you can write the time, how much, and put it in the freezer. So depending on where you're keeping your breast milk will dictate how long you can keep it for. What I would recommend is getting the right shirts as well. So you might find that you want to use buttoned shirts when breastfeeding, but make sure the buttons go all the way down to your belly button, not just like here, because you want to actually have pretty wide access for the baby. Also, you can wear a shirt like what I'm wearing today, and you just lift up, and it also becomes a little bit of a blanket, of a modesty shield type thing when you're feeding the baby. But with this kind of an outfit, you'll probably want high-waisted pants, or else you'll just find your stomach's kind of exposed, and that's not too comfy. So you want the right clothes. And my last recommendation for today is a UV sterilizer, and this product is a game changer. It would save you so much time, because if you sterilize in the other ways, such as washing and boiling or washing and steaming, it just takes quite a long time. The thing with the sterilizer is the only effort you're really putting in is the washing at the sink. After that, you can put it into the sterilizer and it does the rest. It has an auto setting where you can put in your items, hit auto, and it will dry them and sterilize them. And the sterilizer kills 99% of bacteria. So it's really great for all these little bits and pieces and these baby products, as well as toys. I mean, you can even put in your phone or a remote, although you wouldn't want to put those on the drying setting, but you can put in so many things into the sterilizer to keep everything bacteria free. One last tip, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water and eating lots of extra calories. Production of breast milk is a big job for your body, and it's very easy though to forget. So wherever your feeding station is, keep a water bottle nearby and some snacks that you love on hand so that you can just eat whenever you need to. So that's it for today. I hope you found something useful here, and I wish you all the very best with your breastfeeding journey. There will be more videos to come within the feeding category of Little Nutshells, and I'm very excited and I can't wait to be sharing those. But please do subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below with anything you'd like me to cover in Little Nutshells. Have a great day.